There were times which made me vulnerable. There were times where I felt like, am I not good enough? But there was never a point where I felt like giving up. Well, I'm not somebody who would just stop if someone discourages me or if someone tells me that, Mrunal, this is not your cup of tea. The moment the person says it, I show him why I'm meant for that.
Hi guys, this is Ankita. You're tuned into PeepingMoon.com, and today let's talk with Mrunal Thakur, and that's the new segment as well. So Mrunal is going to take us through what exactly made her the actor today she is, and how, and a lot of secrets and a lot of fun. So let's begin. Hi Mrunal, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. My God, this sounds so interesting and so much fun.
Mrunal, starting the first thing first.
Yes.
Almost a decade you have been working, if I have to just roughly put it, not just exaggerating at all.
Oh,
It's like as long,
yeah.
touch wood, you have been working.
Yeah.
Uh, what was it? Uh, what was that time, or what was that one particular decision you decided that you want to switch from TV? Because you worked pretty long. You gave it like good 5, 6 years, and you did diverse shows, you did appearances, you did leading parts. But what was that switch, which was like, ki, aage badhna hai?
There were times where I wouldn't complain that the characters that I was playing in the past were bad. Of course, they were great. But somewhere I felt like I had the potential where the character didn't. And there was a time where I could see other characters performing, and their enthusiasm was not as the way I. So every time an actor in front of me would get a scene to perform, I would always observe the actor as to how curious the actor is. And once it so happened, I should not say this, but I have to say it. That's probably something that inspired me. So that actress walked on set and she had this lovely monologue to perform for that episode. And she's like, "Arey yaar, मैं तो सो गई. मैंने तो lines ही नहीं learn किए." And I was like, how could she just like not prepare where you have such a beautiful scene to perform? And I was like, you know what? I want to perform. I have that urge and I really have that curiosity, and there's something within me, that fire which wants me to perform. I spoke to the makers and they said, Mrunal, this character doesn't have that kind of graph. So I realized that probably it is time for me to switch. It is time for me to move on and probably look and hunt for a character which would allow me to perform. And it's eventually what matters is what you desire. So I think I was desiring for a character which would speak her heart out and would not be quiet and silent. And thanks to the audience who's adapting to the new, the way the cinema has been perceived, the way women are taking over movies. So I'm glad to be a part of Bollywood now. Now.
No. But now, in between, you did a Marathi film, if I'm not wrong, my research, if it is not that bad. And then
Viti
you
Dandu,
jumped,
yeah.
yeah, and then you jumped to a Hollywood debut, if I have to put it. I'll not come to a Bollywood debut yet.
Hmm.
People who normally come from television to, films, as we say in industry, they look for a big ticket, juicy Bollywood debut, something glam, something fun, which puts them on poster.
Yes.
Why did you pick a Hollywood debut and a subject like Love Sonia, which had potentially all the aspects which were not taking the box, and a star-studded cast, which could have normally does happen. People get so enamored with all the actors that the person who's trying to make the breakthrough gets lost in the light.
Yes. Well, uh, so Love Sonia is my ticket to Bollywood, if you can put it that way. I always wanted to perform in a way that people should not question that, oh, she's not capable of doing. And my aim was to always begin with a powerful role where it would be proof. proven to the audience and the filmmakers that yes, this girl is capable of performing. Because what happens, I'm a very observant person, and when I observe a career graph of an actor or an actress, it takes them at least 3 to 4 films to establish themselves as a better actor. And probably that's where, the risk factor also is very important factor. The makers, when they see an actor performing in their first film, they have certain kind of notion or preconceived notion in their head that, what, iska caliber itna hi hai, so let's not it's a big risk. So I decided, why not start with like the most difficult thing, and that's remove the makeup, remove the glamour quotient, uh, just be there in those, village whatever clothes is available, and just like perform. Because sometimes I feel if you be raw, the most difficult thing is to be simple. The most difficult thing is to be natural. And I think that role, love Sonia was somebody who was raw, who was vulnerable, who was unaware about, where her hair is or her makeup is or outfit is. She just performed. She was just a girl from village. And I felt like if I do that, my journey would become easier. And I think 80% I was correct. My journey did become easy. Batla House is a result of Love Sonia. Like, I ended up getting Batla House because of Love Sonia. I'll tell you how later. But when you start with the most difficult things, this is what my dad told me when I would get really nervous during my exams. He would say, you know what, when it comes to maths, let's start with integrations and derivatives. The rest, all permutation, combination, all of that, you would just like cover it essay. So probably
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking.
nice. So you jumped the bandwagon with the most difficult part, and I was going through a couple of old reviews of Love Sonia. There was something
Oh,
which
wow.
strike me that would Mrunal Thakur prefer to be the Frida Pinto, the next Frida Pinto? Did it
Oh,
ever cross
yeah.
your mind at that time, on a serious note, that if, because no matter what, you got a lot of appreciation for your part, was there that one split second where you decided that I can maybe make a base out there, or how Bartla House happened, as you were just telling me that you got it? So what changed the trajectory for you?
See, the thing is, I'm very, very, very workaholic. And for me, it's like the moment the project A is about to finish, I will start with my project B as well. So I would say I admire Frida a lot. I am so glad that I met her, and that woman is so firm, so courageous, and at the same time made of herself. Like, she just no, there was no godfather for her. She just
Exactly.
made, she is what she is because of her. And one of the most wisest women I've ever met in my life. And if I, when you said, can Mrunal be the next Frida Pinto? I wish, I really, really wish. But it's a game of patience. The amount of hard work that she has put in after Slumdog is impeccable. Like if I start narrating you, it's never ending. She's worked on herself. She's really, really, like, I kind of thought myself that, Mrunal, you really played it safe. uh I kind of played it safe. Like, there were I could have gone to US, stayed there and worked there. But I believe that whatever comes to me, it's a golden opportunity, so I might as well just grab it. uh, and like I mentioned earlier, my dream, the desires, my dreams are really big. So I don't have that kind of like, my thought process is not like, I am only supposed to be a Bollywood actress. I really, obviously, I want to explore, and I wish that one day I just like go around the globe and perform for different languages, mediums, and just keeping my fingers crossed. And if I may say so, Frida is my inspiration.
Oh, lovely. But Mrinal, then how exactly did Batla House and Super 30 panned out in an year? Like, where people were just reeling with La Sonia, you gave them two back-to-back entries into Bollywood, and completely different again.
Yes.
How?
So, Super 30 was a long process. the team really didn't know that I was a part of Love Sonia. They had no idea that I had done a movie like Love Sonia. In fact, let's be honest, but they were a little afraid as to what kind of film this Love Sonia is, because when you hear Love Sonia, it comes across as a romantic movie, probably like an end of a letter, something which has to do with romance and, the girl going la 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 with the guy and stuff like that. But when they heard it was sex trafficking, they were all the way scared as to ye kaisi film hai bhai. So, and then the process happened. I gave audition. So Love Sonia really it was not out, so it was not really helping me at all. Fortunately, after like say a year and a half, I signed Super 30. And when I read the script, uh, I have never said this before. I'm telling you, and through this platform, I'm telling the audience that I read the script and I really cried. I went into the bathroom and I cried really hard in the office because there was nothing. I mean, when I read it, there was. I love I love Shakuntala Devi. So when I was thinking about Super 30, I thought probably I would be involved in math some way or the other. And when I read the script and I had no association with maths, I really was really disappointed. And I was like, oh my God, I I don't know. And after especially doing a film like Love Sonia, is this what I deserve? I went home, I slept over it. I thought that I want to be a part of a film which would change lives, which would inspire kids, irrespective of what my screen space is. And this is the time. कभी कभी वो होता है ना कि शायद कपूर इन किस्मत कनेक्शन कि भाई तो कितना भगवान कितनी परीक्षा लेंगे कितने. So I was in that phase. I was like, चल ये आया है तो ये भी कर लेते हैं. Let's do this because these are golden opportunities and it's not going to come. The least that I would do is just be on a movie set, which I always dreamt of, and learn from the director and the actors around me and the technicians. That's it. That was my only agenda. I didn't even know that Super 30 is going to be this big. So I just went with the flow, irrespective of whatever performance, whatever scenes I had to perform. I just grabbed it. And then I decided like these 5 scenes, I will make it memorable. I will make sure that people don't forget Supriya. That was my aim. uh, Fortunately it panned out to be like people really appreciated my work, and the best compliment was wish we could see more of Supriya. The another best compliment was Supriya ko dekh ke mera bachpan ka pyar yaad aa gaya. So I was happy that I could make little bit space in the audience heart somewhere. uh, that's why I didn't get disheartened. I just continued to work and I have learned a lot and I'll forever be grateful to Super 30. While I had already signed Super 30, and that's when I met Nikhil Advani. So he calls me and he's like, hey, you know what? I watched your movie at Melbourne Indian Film Festival and I really liked your work in Love Sonia. Uh, and I was like, I finally meet a person who has watched my film Love Sonia, and I'm so happy because I was literally in tears. So he called me for a movie which Milap was directing called Satyameva Jayate 1. And I couldn't do it because I was doing Super 30 at the same time. So, and that meeting with Nikhil sir was so endearing. It was so nice. And, the passion for cinema. And I was like, sir, Kal Ho Na Ho is my favorite film, like I love it. So he's like, hold on. I said, sir, I want to work with you. I don't care what it is. I really want to work with you. That's when he remembered me. Super 30 was done. And he called me and he said, I would like to narrate you a movie. And I was like, wait, you mean I have to audition for Butler House, right? He said, Mrunal, no, Mrunal, of course I want you to come and hear the story. I was like, I asked him, so I don't have to audition for this role? He said, no, I've seen your work and I think you can be great Nandita. And that was a moment where I felt like, kuch to achieve kiya hai life mein. And I felt really nice and I was overwhelmed because Ritesh Shah was narrating the story. I was sitting there, Sheetal Sharma was sitting there, and Nikhil Advani and Monisha Ma'am, everybody sitting there, and I'm like, oh my god, is this supposed to be with John? And I'm like, I have no idea. I felt like I was this overwhelmed puppy sitting in that narration room and just grasping in. So I felt like, okay, mission accomplished. I'm at least like 10% closer to what my ambitions are.
Well, it's the same thing. Auditions are a must when anyone, especially from TV, is making it to Bollywood. And anyhow, auditions are a great way to shell out,
Yeah.
what exactly you can do with a part. Uh, I am not getting into the name business, but yeah, there were newses of you doing a particular part. You auditioned for something, it didn't materialize even before your Bollywood debut. There was enough we even read because you were a popular face in TV and you were in news for that matter. All these auditions and over all these years, was there that one particular point or maybe that one particular part you did lose, which definitely gives you this that man, I'll give up. Like this is a little too hard. Like this is
Yeah,
breaking my heart.
this is something that I never experienced. I I never wanted to give up because I knew what I was jumping in, and I'm always a person. If I jump in something and I finish it. I can't leave it halfway. You may call it an OCD or something like that, but I never felt like quitting. Obviously, I was broke. There were times which made me vulnerable. There were times where I felt like, am I not good enough? But there was never a point where I felt like giving up.
Well, I now if I just give it to you very in clear words, you have a lineup which I remember when we spoke for our Rising Stars. I at that time told you that if things go fine, we'll have five back to back Mrunal this year. Anyhow, lockdown is still there, making it difficult for us, but still the lineup
Yeah.
stays. We have Tufan, we have Josie, we have Choli, we have Pipa, and that's what, of course, the more narrations and the work you're lining up and you're hearing. Today when you're standing at a position where when I've traveled back with your journey and today you see
Actually,
from
it's not five. Okay, sorry. Mrunal, better
it's
shut
four.
up. Yeah.
Okay, there must be
That
something which
that's
I
what
missed.
you know, which you don't know.
Yeah, something as I said, which you don't know, we should not talk about, so we should just quiet
Yeah.
here and wait. But yeah, the four officials one at least, let's talk.
Yes. Yes.
Today when you stand here, and as I said, it's a decade long struggle. It's not something which came overnight. It's not something which came, with a click of one audition. And today we are there, and as you say, you call the shots and you're on the prime posters and the teasers and the trailers. When you see yourself out there now, when people know your name and they can access you and the fame and the adulation, and more than that, the love and the acceptance which comes from within the fraternity, how does it make you feel as a performer? Is this the validation you're seeking for, or is there even more, or is there even more deeper meaning to what exactly Mrunal Thakur as an actress is looking for?
The only validation I seek from is from my parents, because there are 3 kids in the house. So I better be the best kid. Apart from my family, I realize that their validation, it doesn't really matter to me. Probably that's one of the reasons which allowed me to stay sane in spite of having such crazy competition. The contemporary, it's insane. The performance, the range, the accessibility, the it's huge, it's wide. But I think one of the reasons why I would say I'm very happy today, wherever I am in the middle of this pandemic, I'm really happy is because I don't have that insecurity when it comes to work, when it comes to the clothes, the designers that I'm wearing, the things that I'm getting featured on, all these things that really doesn't matter. I mean, this is a very difficult question to answer, but on the whole, I would just say that when I started from day one till today, people say things change. With me, everything is the same. It's just that I'm working on a movie set, then a television set, uh, and I get to meet different filmmakers, actors, the best filmmakers in the world and the best actors in the world, and I get to perform with them. That's one of the biggest achievement, and I feel like every day I'm learning something or the other, and there's much more to learn. uh, I believe that I really want to be the way I am today like 20 years down the line, 40 years down the line, wherever I am, I don't know, I may be successful, I may be not, but I will always take immense pride in the fact that this is my journey. This is, I have been from the ups and downs. Uh, and that's what made it very special. That's what is very beautiful. I'm not somebody who would just stop if someone discourages me, or if someone tells me that, Mrunal, this is not your cup of tea. The moment the person says it, I show him why I'm meant for that.
So I think my next question stands nullified, because you answer something which I was going to ask you, the fear of losing out. And it's pretty much sums up that there is no fear. There's something, you're just going out fearlessly, and there is nothing to contain yourself and be scared of.
Because see, I love doing my job, because it's I'm passionate about it. I'm not doing that to earn money or earn fans or uh, get maximum eyeballs. I'm doing it for the love that I have. And there's something about this love, it just reflects on screen. And sometimes, even every time I watch my own movie or my own scenes, I get to, like, my directors also, when I talk to them, and they said that we watched the movie again, and there's something new I came up with, that you did this, and it was very fascinating, which I never observed. So I would go back and watch the scene, and I just scratched my head, and it's like, wow, this, it just came so naturally. So when you're so honest with yourself, and when you're so passionately in love with the work that you do, that honesty reflects. Uh, Sorry, I should not praise myself, but I think I am gifted. That's what my family says. And my dad mentions all the time that, Mrunal, just be the way you are, because the more grounded and rooted you are to your friends or family or your neighbors or whoever, that's how you live, and you observe, and you can reflect all of that in your movies. So never lose this great quality of yours. And I will always forever be grateful to him, because I've learned my life. I've learned to live my life through my dad, and I think the credit goes to him.
This observation I had in our last interview, you told me that there's something about strong female characters which kick the bucket for you. Like they are like a go-to in the very first go. Now, why I ask is, you are working with all the eligible men in Bollywood, like
eligible men.
see, listen, even if they are inaccessible is a different word, I would call them eligible. You know what I mean. We are not getting into John's and the Ritik's details, but yes, or Shahid for that matter. But okay, jokes apart, we are okay. We are not getting into those details, but on a lighter note, Mrunal. Okay, this is, I think, the best question I think I'm going to ask you. On a lighter note, what is it? How does it feel to be paired opposite, the men, which I have just used the term eligible, or, we just call them, oh
desirable.
my God, desirable, if that's the word is. Does it take away from you as an actor that maybe I might just, be a counterpart to fulfill the equation? Or maybe as an actress, I might have to take a back step and let the desirability quotient come out as more stronger, or the chemistry come out more stronger. So that's a separate thing that you'll put together on screen.
Very difficult to answer. Sometimes earlier it was quite overwhelming that, oh my God, he's there, he's standing there, he's standing, he's coming towards me. And you would just feel that, because you have always, like, I have been always a movie buff, and I've seen their work, be it Shahid or Ritik or John, and it used to get very overwhelming. But when the director used to come, when we used to either just do the lines or probably just start rolling or get into the scene, I always was on set as Supriya or as Nandita or as Sonia, so it never affected me, and I never looked at them as Ritik. I always looked at, like, it's really strange, but I always ended up calling Ritik Anandji and Sanjay, or like even to Shahid, I would end up calling him Babu. And I was like, oh God, I better stop calling that, because that's what she calls him in the scene. So for me, the moment they say rolling, now yaar, something happens. Something is just, I forget sometimes that I'm Mrunal sometimes, it's just that I'm so involved in the character that I forget. And there are times where I do get jhatkas when my friends are like, oh, how was the scene you shot? Or tell me something. That's when I'll be like, damn, I'm working with Shahid Kapoor.
बट ये थोड़ा लेट हो गया, मैं तो सीन कर रही थी, वो तो मैंने सोचा ही नहीं.
I know, I swear, but trust me, yaar, I'm blessed. My family always tells me that Mrunal, you are our Smita Patil, because Smita Patil was one who made it to Bollywood, and I just hope and I pray that the audience accept me as they have accepted others, because that's what is very important. And they should see me as the character. They shouldn't see a girl who's fanning over this guy, and going crazy about him. So yeah, trust me, sometimes it gets difficult, because for me, sometimes I feel I'm living a dream. It just feels like I'm this is not a reality. This just feels like a bubble that I'm living in, but it is reality. And I've sometimes, my friends, they say, Mrunal, just stop crushing over, stop going fangirling over your co-actors. It's not nice. It doesn't look nice. And I'd be like, okay.
But then we just spoke about the desirable men, we can't help it. Especially as I always come back to, I remember the Hrithik Roshan story. I know it very well. You told me, so I'll stand by it. That was the best things, how to look into his eyes and forget lines. That's a good 101 course. Which I remember when you narrated that, how to forget lines from Hrithik Roshan.
Yeah. Oh God, ask me. But I have been forgetting lines quite lately now. I need to start working on that.
So we'll be ending this on a fun note for you, Mrunal. I remember another interesting thing you did tell me was sometimes you post pictures of yourself from photo shoots on your Instagram, because it's like a catalog of your work which you want to present it to directors so that they can see the kind of roles which they might not envision you in, or the look, but they can see it on your Instagram, that maybe you can pull up a bob, or you can pull up a very Lara Croft kind of thing. That you told me somewhere like 4 or 5 months back. From then to now, has it ever happened that an Instagram profile picture has landed you to a film set or a film reading?
Yes, it has. And I'm not kidding with you. This is how it works, because you wake up, you be on Instagram, you go to bed. Before going to bed, the last thing you do is you are on Instagram. And somewhere back of our mind, that work is always happening. So be it casting directors, be it filmmakers, they always keep looking for the right girl. And I believe that too, that sometimes what happens, the work that is out, they won't be able to judge whether a girl from Love Sonia would be able to be the same girl Ira in Ghost Stories. So she's so like absolutely sexy, and she's like very open about she's very open. So sometimes what happens, all these photos, it allows you to be like, oh my God, this girl can do this as well. And I'm glad that when I meet producers or writers for narration, they say that, Mrunal, you see this picture you posted? This is what made us think that this is the character, and only you could play that, no one else. That makes me feel like, wow. Because, back then in the 80s or 90s, there was no social media.
Exactly.
And a lot of times the actors would rely on the media, or media में वही चीजें आती थी जो sensationalize होती थी. So there were times where a lot of these actresses, like we just discovered that Madhuri Dixit ma'am is such a fabulous singer,
Yes.
So let's just go back. And what if social media came in the 90s? Today, if that was the case, Madhuri ma'am would have been somewhere. She would have been a global star, just singing, performing on stage. You never know. So I'm quite thankful to these social networking sites, which allow us to be us and no one else. Also, through this interview, I would like to tell my audience, because most of the times audience really get upset when I don't post about any issue that is happening outside, and a lot of backlashes happen. But I just want to say that I'm just a human, and I'm not a news channel. And I prefer to keep it that way, because there's so much bombardment of news happening. So through my page, I don't want to make you hyper, or I don't want to have that negative impact on you guys. um, Probably that's probably the reason why the kind of things I post on Instagram, i I don't think I mean, I do think a lot, but I make sure that it is real, it is not forceful. When I feel motivated, I motivate my audience. Where I don't feel great, I just be one, and I just share my pillow thoughts, or be it whatever I feel. It can even be a heartbreak, or it can be feeling low, or feeling rejected, or somebody ghosting you. These are the things which is real, and I want my audience to be close to me for the person I am, not because for who I'm pretending to be. Because there will
Absolutely.
be a time where I would just be like, I don't want to be that person. So probably that's what makes my life a little easier, because I don't have to pretend.
That's okay. This is the fun one and the last question officially.
Yes.
Now, okay, so all the co-stars, why I'm asking, don't hit me later. All the co-stars desirable, yes. Not eligible to be in a relationship with, yes. So
You're going to put me in trouble.
who is the one if Mrunal has to pick for a next date? Because you're already
Next
working with all
date.
day. Dude, you're already going out with all the good-looking men on screen, but off screen, who can Mrunal go out with the next date?
Wait, as long as I go on a date, I'll be very happy, because in this pandemic, I can't step out.
Oh, come on, go hypothetically for once. This will end someday. We are
You know,
playing
that
friends.
that really hurts. That hurts even more, because it's hypothetical. For,
See,
I mean, I can I
Mrunal,
just
you
go
killed my
on a
question.
date? For heaven's sake, can I just go on a date? Even if it is not desirable man, even if it's a regular man, can I just go on a date, for heaven's sake?
I am giving you 10 on 10 for scoring an answer without saying a word. I am impressed, Mrunal. But
Yeah.
thank you, Mrunal. This was fun. Thank you for talking about films and the journey, which normally we don't delve deeper into, and we just let it see on the surface that, oh, you landed a film, wow, it flopped, yes, it didn't flop, whatever. But thank you
Well,
for taking us through the process.
you're welcome. I just want to be honest, because there are a lot of girls like me who wish to be in this industry, and just wanted to let them know that life is just the way it is. It's the same. It's just a matter of time. किसी का सही वक्त होता है, किसी का गलत. So, yeah.
So, Mrunal, before we part, give me a pro tip. A pro tip can be just as simple as what was that one day, moment, time when you know you want to be an actress. That can be the pro tip. That can be a story which anyone can maybe relate with. You sometimes get a thought, maybe sitting like here, oh, I can do it.
So somebody asked me and that was the script. That was the first monologue I performed. It was for a Marathi show. And she said, just forget there is a camera, the girl who was taking my audition. And she gave me a monologue, which was about mother, how much she misses the mother. And I was staying in a hostel, and I really was missing my mother, because I felt miserable. It was my first year of BMM, and food, everything. My life, I felt my life was ruined at that point of time, because I was away from my mom. So she said, forget the camera and just talk to me about your mother. And it just came from so within, that I was like, I walked out of that room. I cried without even realizing that I had to cry. It just happened. It just triggered, and those tears just rolled down. Sometimes you have to try really hard. Like as an actor, when few boys, when I help my friends, they say, "Oh, this line, I'll start crying." I said, "It's not like this line, you'll start crying. It just happens. You need to find the moment." So I think that point when I walked out of the room, it was my first audition, and then I realized that, Mrunal, one blessing, one thing that you're gifted with is memories. I have so much memories. I remember everything. Um, and make use of those memories during your performances, and allow the audience to feel the love, or the anger, all the emotions that they go in their lives, in their real lives. Uh, and I felt like, no, I can't be anything else but an actor. So that's I was 16 and a half, 17 almost. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, 17, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone who's watching this, I think probably this is the best pro tip you could get, just that one particular moment. So you never know. But Mrunal, thank you. Wishing you the best. The names of the films which we have not announced, and we are hoping it comes out soon. So yes. And by next time I catch you, and after lockdown, you're telling me the date name. That time you will not escape saying that after the lockdown. I will not leave you. I swear.
Hopefully, when we chat next,
In person.
in person, the things open up, there's no pandemic, people are safe, people can go out without their masks, where I can actually see the face of my date in case I go with one. But I desire to go with on a date with a guy who's not from the industry.
Guys, you can DM Mrunal if she replies. I'm not saying anything. but thank you,
Thank you.
Mrunal. Thank you for the time. Wishing you all the best and just hoping more interviews, more success, and always such inspiring stories from you. It's always so much fun.
Thank you, my love.
Thank you. Bye.
Be safe. Bye.